now to come here to my sister, Maria Vasquez from the Chilean community. She's also representing SYMAAG today. She has been a fighter, and she can demonstrate that when the Chilean people came to this country, they had the right to work, they had the right to accommodation, they had the right to study, and this is what allowed them to integrate within community and to contribute and to share the richness of the diversity of the people coming together. Unfortunately, the situation is now very different. Please welcome my sister Maria.
Thank you so much, Melinda, and thank you for coming out on a weekday. We're here to demand the council take action, because it's so easy. I'm only little, so I'm going to stand further up so I can see you. It's so easy to sign a pledge, isn't it? It's so easy to smile for the cameras, but what are they actually doing to support Lift the Ban? And we're here to remind them that they have that responsibility. They have that responsibility because they serve us, the community in Sheffield. Not only the people that elected them, but they're the people that live and work here, send their kids to school here, and contribute to the beautiful city which is Sheffield. And they need to look to what happened in the United States last night if they need a bit of Dutch courage. Because of any of you that followed it, Mandami win in New York last night goes to show that you don't have to pander to right-wing rhetoric. You don't have to pander to the right-wing politicians. You definitely don't have to pander to a move to an authoritarian state. And Mandami's election and victory was a victory for all of us in progressive movements in the Western world. Because we know what change we want, but the politicians need to step up, fix up, and have the courage to do what they know is right. Part of Mandami's victory speech last night, he quoted Nehru. For those of you who may not know, and sorry to those of you who do, Nehru was India's first Prime Minister, and he led the nationalist movement against the British colonial rule. And in quoting him, it reminded me, actually, of Britain's long colonial history. It reminded me that Britain once owned 25% of the world. It reminded me of that great phrase, "We are here because you were there." And that's not just down to colonialism. That's down to neoliberalism, that's down to the mess that you left in those countries, and that's down to the economic stranglehold you still have on the global south. So when you wonder why people come here, I'll tell you something, it's definitely not to live in a hotel, which is by no means a hotel in any definition that we know it of. And I know that because we lived in one when I first arrived. It's definitely not to come here for the pittance of money that people are given, for the shouts of the street, for the name calling of your kids at school, for politicians of left and right to blame migrants for every economic will that we know is the fault of the government. And may I add, their lack in courage to change the economic system, which has us all in living in economic precarity, which has our energy bills at extortionate levels, water that we can't even drink, that has the fact that our kids can't even seriously look at going to university without facing £50,000 worth of debt, schools that are crumbling, NHS waiting lists that are getting longer and longer. And I'll tell you something, that's not down to migrants. That's not down to refugees, that's not down to asylum seekers, that's down to political choices of our elected representatives. So when we talk about Lift the Ban, let's be honest about what that means. That's about demanding the council taking responsibility. Responsibility, may I add, for a bad law that was introduced by a local Sheffield politician, David Blunkett. Shame. And it talks about bringing back that dignity, dealing the consequences of what this disastrous policy creates amongst people with lived experience, but also in the wider community. Because there's a reason why politicians are able to drive a wedge and the media pander to it. And that's because we no longer work alongside each other. We no longer sit in the canteen at work or eat our sandwiches and talk about what it's like to live in everyday life Britain. That we watch the same TV, that we have the same dreams and aspirations for our families, that we have the same fears, and that we have the same hopes. So in lifting the right on the ban, lifting on the ban on the right to work, in allowing asylum seekers to work, in reversing the 2002 policy change, which for decades before did not exist, we are not only creating a climate in which we respect the dignity of human beings that arrive here to seek sanctuary, but we are creating a community in which we remind each other of our own dignity and compassion and self-respect. So please join us today and every day until we lift that ban and asylum seekers have the right to work. Thank you.